What's good, everybody? I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I know we are here at the floor. We had a beautiful, beautiful trade on Google today. One and done. Actually, I take that back. It wasn't a one and done. We had a trade on Google and a signal on QQQ as well. So we had two very, very nice trades today. I do want to go over both of those before we get this charting session started, but with the Adidas. Hey man, all of my gym gear is Under Armour, except the shoes. The shoes are Adidas, but whatever. What's up, Sean? What's up, Levon? Yeah, let's go ahead and get started here, though. I do want to go over the Google trade and the QQQ trade before we get this started. So for those of you that are new here, welcome in. We go through my watch list from A to Z here and see what I'm liking for tomorrow and the rest of the week. You did say Adidas. But yeah, we also go through and make my entire watch list for tomorrow at the end of the stream. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I also do have a couple of announcements for you at the end of the stream. So once again, make sure you stick around. But Google today, absolutely beautiful play. It was 23% for me, which on a Monday is actually fantastic. So that is a great way to start our week. We took this at, what time did we take this at? 9:51, which is actually kind of late. But we took this at 9:51 here with the original entry. I got my entry here right around 287.60 on Google as we were picking up momentum on this candle right here. Now it is going to look a little bit different than it looked this morning, but this candle right here is where we started picking momentum back up into this previous resistance that we set right here at 287.66. And also, as this was forming, there was essentially there was about one way that this trade could have not ended up seeing more upside. So I was already super confident in this trade to start with. We had a perfect inverse H forming here at this point in time. We also had this resistance to look at for a bit of an early entry. I did say to everybody, though, the safest entry would technically be at high of day right here at this 288.27 high that we had set. But I wanted to get my entry a little bit earlier so I could catch a little bit more percentage and also have a super clear, super tight stop loss on this. So we got our first entry here at 9:51 on this candle right here. We had a very nice pop right away. We did go into a bit of drawdown on this trade, but we ended up coming back up and forming this inverse H into high of day, where I added to my position at 9:56. So on this candle right here, as we were moving into high of day, I added to my position. And the reason I did that, first of all, I had a decent position at my original entry, but it was not the full position that I wanted. The reason for that is so I could have a little bit of a wider stop and give this thing room to breathe without risking too much money. Now, when we got this ad up here, I immediately said that my new stop loss was going to be at this previous resistance that we broke at 287.66. That was where my stop loss was going to be on this trade, and that would have set us for not a completely break-even trade, but it would have been a very small loss if we would have hit that stop loss. Now, we immediately got a beautiful push on the following candle after I added, where I sold half of my position on this 9:57 candle right here. And then after that, 9:58, we came up here and I sold another 25% of my position on the break of 289. So I ended up selling another 25%. It was actually right up here around 289.20 where I got rid of that second 25%. I got rid of another 25% of what I had left at literally peak sell on this, which was a beautiful, beautiful scale out. This put us in a position where we could have a perfect break even stop loss here at 288. 288 also happened to be the level that we needed to hold in order to see this come up and break this 290 resistance that was actually our main level. So 290 is it broke already, but it was a big level on the larger time frames that we need to get above in order to see this move back up to all-time highs. But 290 was what I wanted my final target on this to be. It put us in a perfect position where we had 90% of our position we had already taken profits on. We could have a break-even stop loss here, and it also lined up exactly with the level that we needed to hold in order to see this continue. Now, we did not end up seeing this hold, so we sold break-even on the last few contracts that we had here, but absolutely beautiful trade on Google to start the week. And then the other trade was on QQQ, which Nikita signaled. And if you guys are not in the chat, Nikita is our futures trader. So he actually technically signaled in Q, but I played it on QQQ. We got in, I believe, on this 953 candle. I got in a little bit late. I actually got in on the 954 candle, and we were targeting high of day. So high of day was 621.51. We pretty much saw a bit of consolidation right here, and then a move straight up to the high of day break, which once again, just super clean trade. Added a nice little sprinkle on top of the cake that we got from Google this morning. But yeah, that was what we took today. 2 for 2, and once again, beautiful way to start the week. So let's go ahead and get into the actual charting here. Like I said, I'm going to go through A to Z on the watch list and see what I like. If I don't like it, I'm just going to move on. So if I'm not talking here for a second, then that would be why. Also, you guys can see here in the title's changed a bit. This is a charting session and a Q&A. So if anybody has questions for me about anything we're looking at, if they have any stocks they want me to check out, or if you just have any trading questions for me in general, feel free to ask those, and I will get to those as soon as we get through my watch list here. AMD looks interesting at high of day. We've pretty much got room up to 253, and then really all the way up to like 255.60. So we've got quite a bit of room on AMD after Thursday's sell-off. I do like AMD at 248.90 to the upside. We'll have to see on the shorter time frames here if we have a setup for this, or if we're just gonna have to, yeah, we're just gonna have to look at high of day. Yeah, AMD looks good. I like that. Amazon, I'm all good. ARM, I will pass as well. AVGO, I like at 364.87. We are basically $4.87 away from this, so kind of far, but I think it's worth putting on the watch list regardless, because we can make this move overnight or pre-market. VA, I will pass. I do also want to go over the earnings real quick with you guys. I completely forgot about that. My bad. Earnings for this week, or more importantly, earnings for tomorrow. We have, I'll pull this up over here for you. We have OKLO tomorrow. I don't know why it's so blurry, but we have OKLO tomorrow. And then we have Circle on Wednesday. So OKLO, Circle, and Disney are 3 on my watch list that we need to skip over because they have earnings reporting this week, and I do not want to mess with that pre-earnings contract inflation. Coin actually looks good as well. Same level I was looking at this morning. I'm probably just going to copy and paste my trade idea from today on Coin because nothing has really changed there. Instead of 324.14, I'll be looking at this 325.45 level. And then this wick, I don't even know if I would count this as real, but 326.80. After that, we've got room all the way up to like 332. Is the market open tomorrow? That's a great question. Yes, the market is open tomorrow. It is Veterans Day, so banks are closed, but the stock market is open. So what that will mean for anybody using a cash account, unless you're using IB, then maybe your cash will be settled because it's a Canadian brokerage. But for anybody trading on a cash account, your funds from today, your funds that you used from today, aka your unsettled funds, are not going to be settled tomorrow because the banks are closed. So you're going to be trading with either whatever you have left over from today, or you're not going to be trading at all and you're going to wait till Wednesday. Either way, a cash day is never a horrible thing. I mean, there's infinite trading days out there in the future, so. But yeah, that's a good question. No trades tomorrow. Did you use all your buying power, Kev? Circle, let's see. You'll have that, man. It's all right. It's all right. Wednesday's another day. Crowd at 560. This thing just does not care that it's ripping all-time highs. It's, I guess today technically didn't rip all-time highs, but either way, it doesn't care that we're breaking all-time highs. They're still not going to give this thing enough contract volume for us to trade it. Unfortunately. CRWV. This after hours low, earnings low. I like 96.75. I'm a fan. We'll go back and see if there's any more targets that we can look at once we circle back to this and make the watch list. But yeah, I like 96.75. DAL doing absolutely nothing. DDOG. This thing. Interesting price action today. I was actually not expecting to see this make another high after it rejected and sold off the way that it did. I think that I'm probably going to pass on DDOG for now. It may weasel its way into the watch list in the morning, but as of right now, I think I'm going to pass on it. How did you get that Lambo? I saw you in the other day. Why don't you post about it? Gotta stay humble, man. That was definitely me, though. Man. Google, I'm not really a fan of right now. I liked the 290 level. I think that above 290, we should see momentum pick back up towards highs, but as of right now, there's no setup on this for me to take. So once again, may make its way onto the watch list in the morning, but right now, not a big fan. Interactive, I'm all good. INTC, I will pass. KO, this actually looks solid right here. 70.90. I've only traded KO one time. I wasn't disappointed with how the contracts moved. I will say though, they are dirt cheap. So like the 71 calls have great volume, but they are 33 cents. just for that, I really don't want to put it on the watch list. The setup looks fantastic though, so we'll see. I'm gonna mark it. We'll make my decision once I come back here. Let's see, meta. 637.95. I like, mainly because we're gonna have to break out of this 1 hour downtrend channel. Yeah, I like that. Once again, mainly because we're going to have to break out of this 1 hour downtrend channel. That should give us some more momentum into that level. And after that, 642.71, I like that level as well. If I took it down here at 637.95, which I don't know why it's saying that's the high when it's not. My bad, guys. 638.75. Chart time. Nice. Looked at KO contract volume. What was it? The 71 calls. The 71 calls have great volume for that type of stock. It's just the pricing is just horrible. I hate it. I hate cheap contracts. But yeah. 638.75. If I took meta here, 642.71 would be my target. It would be my final target for this trade. But if we don't get to take it here, I might look at 642.71 for a separate trade. Like if we break above this high after hours or pre-market, I'll look at 642.71 still. So there's a couple different things we could take there on meta, but kind of the same story as Google and Coin. That's like the level that we're going to start seeing momentum at for a recovery. Marvel, I will pass. Skipped over Microsoft. My bad. Okay. MSTR. For now, I think we're going to pass on this one too, but 254 I do like to the upside. I would also take the low of day to the downside, but we are directly in the middle right now, so I might just throw MSTR's name on the watch list just so we can keep it in mind. But there's not any specific level right now that I would be looking at because we are directly in the middle. MU at 257.07. I like how this is setting up. It is an all-time high, so we're going to have to target momentum on this, but I like the way it's setting up on the shorter time frames, but obviously on the larger time frames, you can see this thing is just tearing through all-time highs. So yeah, I do like MU. NVIDIA approaching a beautiful level here as well. We've got a lot of setups, actually. Maybe not a lot of setups, but a lot of good quality setups compared to recent weeks. Okay. 201.71 is probably going to break. 202.92 I definitely like. You could target 203.97. I would actually probably target 205 on this. Not necessarily because of the pre-market level, but just because that's a pretty easy move for NVIDIA to make. And we do have another resistance there anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna remove 201.71 because this thing's gonna break it anyways. OKLO has earnings. Oracle has earnings. I'm sorry, Circle has earnings. My bad. Oracle Let's see. I don't think there's anything here for me. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. It's a little too far away from anywhere that I would take it at. PLTR, really just grinding up, making moves here, but nothing for me to really look at. PayPal, I'm all good. RGTI had earnings today, after hours, right? Yeah, after hours, RGTI had earnings. I've traded this one time as well. I was actually very happy with how the contracts moved. They were a little low volume whenever I took them, so I couldn't do a full signal just because I don't want to be looking at something that has too low of volume to really know if you're going to be able to get in and out easily. But RGTI at 30.62 I like. We're a couple dollars away right now, but we've got some time. SMCI I will pass. Let's see. I actually think Tesla at 450 is okay. I mean, we've broken above and below this level so many times recently that it's just kind of lost its luster there. But if we get up to 450, I would look at it. I think target on this, I would just target a realistic move for Tesla, which is like $1.50, $2. $2 should be fairly easy. 452 would probably be my target for Tesla, just based off of that. But as far as actual levels go, I don't have any major targets for Tesla. So let's see. What do we have? We have AMD, AVGO, Coin, CRWV, KO, Meta, MSTR, MU, NVIDIA, RGTI, and Tesla. Yeah, we've got a lot. Let's go ahead and get into that part of it now. AMD. Looking at the 248.90 high of day for entry. Targeting a move to the 250 break. Above 250, we have room all the way up to 253.30. AVGO, looking at the 364.87. This is actually going to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern by the time we get up there. Targeting a move to the next major resistance at 368.95 for my final target. I will be looking to scale out / take profits along the way, depending on the momentum, and my face is blocking this whole thing. I'm sorry. The momentum. Okay, yeah. So this really is the only major target that I can have for AVGO right now. I am, like I said here, going to be scaling out and taking profits along the way depending on the momentum we see. I may look to take profits way earlier than this level. It really just depends on the price action we're seeing at that point in time. And then coin, I am going to, actually, I was going to copy and paste the trade idea from today, but I might as well just rewrite it. What is that? 325.45. Coin, looking at the 325.45 resistance for entry, targeting a move to the 326.80 break. Above this, we have clear room on the larger time frames up to 330. I'm just gonna write be cautious of spreads on here for anybody that is not in the floor. Just for your guys' sake, watch out for the spreads on that. CRWV sold off after earnings. Looking at the 96.75 earnings low for a break down, targeting a move to the 96 break, then the 1 hour downtrend at 94.92 for my final target. KO, I'm gonna put this on here, but I'm gonna move it down to the side watches once we get everything here. Looking at the 70.90 flat top for a break to the earnings high. Targeting a move up to the 71.61 resistance for my absolute final target, but I will be scaling out or taking profits along the way depending on momentum. Beautiful. There we go. Meta, we are really flying through it here tonight. Meta, looking at the 638.75 resistance on the 1 hour or breakout. There we go. Looking to play this into the 640 break and targeting a move to the next major resistance at the 642.71 flat top for my final target. We are currently at the top of a 1 hour downtrend channel, so we will have to break above this in order to get our entry. This should provide even more momentum into this level, making for a cleaner break. All right. There's Meta. And we got 4 people in here right now. Where'd everybody go? Did you guys get tired of listening to my voice? MSTR. That's just going to go down in the side watches. MU. looking at the 257.07 all-time high, are currently inverse Hing, well, actually, forming an inverse H into the all-time high, looking for a breakout to 260. My targets will be momentum based, but overall I would like to see the 260 break for my final target. NVIDIA, looking at the 202.92 resistance for a recovery break towards highs, targeting a move to the next resistance at 203.97, then the 205 break for my final target. RGTI, wow, we have a lot. RGTI, looking at the 30.62 support on the, actually, is this a 180-day low? That might sound crazy. No, it's not even close. Wow. Looking at the 30.62 support for a break to the downside. We'll be targeting momentum below 30. After earnings, we could see an increase in volume, making this a quick and easy trade. All right, and then last but not least here we have Tesla. Tesla forming a full flag on the larger time frames into the on the higher time frames, looking at the 449.67 high of day for my entry, looking for a scalp above the 450 break, targeting a move to 452. All right, that is everything here. I am going to move some of these things down to the side watch, like MSTR. That is going to go to the side watch. KO is going to go down here to a side watch. All right, what else do we want to move to the side watch here? What is far away? AVGO is kind of far away. Coin, that is relatively close. It's not the stock I pulled up. Okay, CRWV is staying up here. Meta's staying up here. MU's staying. NVIDIA's staying. RGTI actually could go down to the side watch. And I think, actually, now that I did that, I'm probably going to bring AVGO back up here and put coin in the side watch, because if we get AVGO and coin at the same time, I would rather look at AVGO. So okay. So we have AMD, which is upside, AVGO upside, CRWV downside, Meta upside, MU upside, and there's a typo. Nvidia upside, Tesla upside, Coin upside, RGTI downside, MSTR is undecided because we are directly in the middle, and then KO is upside. So that is everything that I've got for tomorrow. Sorry I keep blocking this with my face. But that is my watch list for tomorrow, and probably a lot of these are probably going to carry over to the rest of the week. But if you guys are not in the floor, make sure you screenshot that, take advantage of it. But that is what I'm looking at. So we have about 20 minutes left here. If you guys want to turn this into a Q&A session, we've already gone over all the stocks, we've gone over the earnings, we've gone over the news. So if you want to turn this into a Q&A session, I am super happy to sit here and answer your guys' questions for the next 20 minutes. Also, I wanted to say, let me just fact check myself here and make sure that this wasn't just an idea that okay. Yeah. All right. So I guess I technically didn't get this approved from everybody. So if you guys do it, you're going to have to do it quickly. But if you guys use code Fall Street, like Wall Street, except it's fall right now. If you guys use code Fall Street on that second link in the description, you guys are going to get 35% off your first month in the floor. So if you guys are wanting to trade live with me and the team, make sure you click the second link in the description and use that code quickly, fast. I'm going to delete it before the end of the stream. It's right here. I'm going to delete that before the end of the stream, and it's never going to be said again. So use that. I say it's never going to be said again. I might say it again. But there you go. And also, I do have a few slots to work with people one-on-one. I haven't really promoted this in a very long time. I did a few months ago, and then the payment processor that I used was just having major issues with everything. So I kind of was put back to square one with that. So I do have a few slots open. That is the first link in the description. I'm not going to talk about this very often because, you know, if I'm going to promote something, I always promote the floor. But I do have a couple of slots open there. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you fill out that form. I'll reach out to you very soon and we can do that. But that is enough of me promoting until the end of the stream here. So in the meantime, feel free to ask me as many questions as you would like to, and I will sit here and answer them all and gain access to the floor Minecraft server. That is true, Gabe. That is very true. We have no questions. I guess you guys are all experts, huh? All right, I'm gonna give it a few minutes here. You guys can look over the watch list here. If you guys have any questions about anything I have in the watch list, or any stocks or anything at all, feel free to ask, and I I'm happy to help, but I'll give you guys a couple minutes here to see if you can come up with any questions for me. But other than that, we are done with the charting. Actually, in the meantime, I'm going to send this into the chat. Let's see. Tomorrow's watch at everyone. Boom. All right, guys, it looks like we have 0 questions. So, in that case, I will talk to you guys first thing in the morning for pre-market review at 9 a.m. Eastern. Once again, if you're not in the floor and you want to join, use that code quickly. And I'll see you all in the morning. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you later.